Yes, a Cleveland Browns podcast. Let's get the Gleam together. Cold Lake wind and orange lights. Sunday fire, dog pound nights. We won the scars, we stood the test. Brown and orange across our chest. From the Muni Lock to the end zone line, this city's heart still beats in time. Through every loss and every dream, you can feel it rise. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam together. This is our time. Let's get the gleam together. Whoa. Let's get the gleam together. This is our town.
Good afternoon and welcome to There's a Gleam podcast, a Cleveland Browns podcast. Today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2026, 12:01, and it is a sun is shining here in the land, temperatures rising kind of day here in the land. How are you doing today, John?
I'm doing great, Steve. My Gleam meter is at around 8.5 right now. I'll be pushing 10 by tomorrow.
Something about the sun, yesterday stunk.
Oh,
But according to our local weather experts, which I love them, but man, they're not always accurate. They think we're out of the woodwork here with the snow and the cold.
yeah, I think we are. And I think that maybe by next week, we're going to put all this stuff behind us.
I hope so. I know it's supposed to be 50s here today, and rest of the week 60s, 70s. We're gonna have mid 70s. So I think the worst is over. I think now the best is yet to come. And Kevin Brown at 7695 on YouTube says, "Let's talk some football." That we will, my friend. But first, John, before I forgot to say, I don't know if we said anything last week. How was your Easter? Did we talk about it much?
Well, we couldn't talk about it because Easter was like 3 days ago.
I always forget when we do these shows and there's stuff going on that weekend to talk about it.
My Easter was great, actually. We went to Aaron's cousin's house. They're big Browns. Actually, you met them before.
The ones at tailgate?
Yeah, Nick and Sandy.
Yeah, over at that lot over by West 3rd and Summit. And yeah.
Kind of over. Yeah, right behind over in that area.
It's over in that red
By
brick
the bridge.
building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, went over their house. They had a nice spread for Easter. Watched some Guardians baseball, a little bit of Cavs. So I had a good night. So
Nice.
how about your Easter? What'd you do?
We had a nice time. We went over with my cousin Tony, the one that you said wasn't one of your favorite cousins.
Only when I need help, he is.
Food almost went flying at my family's because of that. I had to put out fires left. Nah, it was all fun. They liked it. Except for Dom. I think he's still a little bitter. But no, Tony hosted. He did a Easter brunch. They put on quite a spread. We brought some shrimp cocktail and did a good variety of stuff and got to spend it with my family, my aunt. My family's not that big. We got our son, a couple grandkids, and then we got Deb's got her mom and sister. I got basically the only ones left are my aunt and my cousins. So it was nice to spend time with them. We had a really good time. Ate too much as usual. So, but all in all, can't complain. Talk some football. Everybody, every time I go out to places, people are always commenting about the show, giving me good ideas, what they like, what they don't like. So it's always fun.
I love that.
Do you get much comment from people, family and stuff?
You know what? Not really. They must not listen.
That's funny, actually.
No, we get more from your family and friends, really.
Yeah. Well, I think mutually friends we get a lot from.
We
and
do.
then my boat club seems to be real. I get people all the time saying stuff, which is really cool. So so that's all good. Anyway,
I wanted to touch on something real quick from last week. Remember you said it was my anniversary, and I was like, no, my anniversary's on the 2nd. And then you thought it was the 3rd. And the next day you texted me early in the morning and you're like, your anniversary's today. And I was like, I can't believe this, Steve, because I actually have a tattoo right here, my anniversary date on my arm. So I don't forget it.
Did you say it's in Roman numerals?
Yeah, that's a problem. It's in Roman numerals, so it's kind of hard to read it.
Well, no, I thought so. I mean, I'm pretty good. I got a calendar with all the dates, deaths, birthdays, deaths, anniversaries, this, that. So it pops up. And then the kicker was my wife said something to me. It even showed up on, I think, Facebook or one of my timeline. And Deb's like, no, it's today. I'm like, that's what I thought. He says no. I'm like, I'm going with what. So
that's what good friends are for. You're saving my butt.
There you go. I know I forget stuff too, so it's all good. But thank you for joining us. If you're watching us live or if you're listening, it'll be later. But again, if you want, you can subscribe on YouTube at There's a Gleam Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook at There's a Gleam Podcast. On X, if you're watching on X, then you're at Hemi44. John's at Get the Gleam. We're both on TikTok. John's at John There's a Gleam, and I am at There's a Gleam Podcast. And then again, usually, I think John said you're going to do it today. Where you can later today, you can listen, follow, and subscribe on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify at There's a Gleam Podcast, a Cleveland Browns podcast. Just look for our logo, and please subscribe, follow, like, share, help us spread the word. We appreciate it. I know on Facebook we're growing pretty good.
Yeah.
YouTube's been a little bit slower. We don't have a dedicated page for X yet. We're talking about doing it, but we'll see. Anyway,
things in the works.
Yeah. So we appreciate all that listen and subscribe and all that good stuff. So today we're going to go over a little bit of got a little bit of Browns news, another signing. What do you know? It's a signing from the Texans again. This is what's going on. We'll talk about that a little bit, but we got another Brown signing. We're going to talk briefly about the division foes, a little bit of NFL news. But today we really want to go over the Browns roster a little bit, team needs, maybe a few positional rankings. And we're also going to unveil our latest mock drafts. And then later we're also going to do the land. This time I am doing it featuring Gus's Diner 185 over on the east side off East 185th area. And a little bit more. So we're going to get to it, John. And we're going to jump into some Browns news today.
Let's do this.
What do you got?
You want to start off, Steve, with the voluntary, the workouts?
I wanted to pop that up real quick. There's, what's going on here with schedule-wise. There's a few things. Yesterday, right, was the first day of the off-season workouts where they basically just working out. There's no on-the-field stuff, but that started yesterday. And what else they got coming up here?
They've got the mini camps coming up on the 21st to the 23rd. Voluntary. Okay. And I've heard that Myles Garrett has never been to a voluntary mini camp. Is that true, Steve?
I believe it. I don't know if he's never been, but I know he hasn't been to one in a long time. Mixed reviews. Some people are like, he's the heart of our team. Would you like to see him there? I guess. But at the end of the day, you're paying him to get sacks, and he's doing his job. So whether he's there or not, it doesn't bother me that much.
I agree. Then we have the OTA off-season workouts May 19th through the 21st, so a month later.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, May 26th to the 28th, and then June 2nd to June 5th.
Yeah, they get, what is it? 10 days they get, I think. So they break them up. Then they got the mandatory mini camps are, I forget when.
9th through the 11th June.
Okay. So, so they're doing that right now. I know Daryl Ryder had posted something about the different phases and stuff over a few weeks and stuff. But, that's what's going on with that. What was it? I did hear there was a little bit of talk of Emerson.
Steve, the Martin Emerson thing kind of breaks my heart because I was such a Martin Emerson fan his first couple years here. And then in 2024, he had that down year.
Yeah.
Not quite as good as he was the previous couple seasons, but still not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he got hurt last season, and that was Steve, that was in training camp. He got hurt. He tore his Achilles. So he missed all of last year. And unfortunately for him, that was a contract year. So the absolute worst time that you could possibly get hurt happened to Martin Emerson.
And they were saying in camp, he was looking really good too. So that's a shame.
Yeah, I think he was on the way to a bounce back season in 25. I get Andrew Berry left the door slightly open for a return for Martin Emerson because he said if it changes, they'd love to have him back. but it really doesn't sound like he's in the works. And he did visit Houston. I think was that yesterday he was in Houston.
Yeah. We seem to be getting each other's players. We get Watson, which that one sucked for us. They get Chubb, which we all love Chubb here, but Chubb, not quite the same player. We made the trade to get Howard to tackle. We keep going back and forth with players.
I know.
Now Emerson's visiting there, and then we'll talk after. We got a signing who was with the Texans, so it's crazy.
Yeah, so I hope Martin Emerson hooks on somewhere.
Yeah,
he puts his videos online. He's working out. He looks like he's got good mobility right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I think that's really tough for to come back from that injury as a quarterback.
I would agree.
In 1 year.
Yeah, I would agree. Wish him the best, but
yeah,
I think with the latest signing, I don't know if we'll see him back. So
yeah,
speaking of that, so we signed. Who did we sign then?
It was Miles Bryant, cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
From he was with Houston. He was in his 7th NFL season out of Washington. He was an undrafted free agent back in 2020. New England signed him.
Okay.
So 77 games with the Patriots and the Texans, 173 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 interceptions, and 17 passes defended. So I think he is going to bring some versatility to the team, and especially once again, Steve's special teams. I think they're really, really trying to bring some guys in that have experience on special teams, because as we know, that just wasn't nothing against.
That was terrible.
Nothing against Martin Emerson, but that was our Achilles heel last year.
Yeah, no, I heard he's kind of that slot corner and also like a third safety. So, and also special teams. So, another depth signing, maybe, on the surface, he's 28. So on the surface, hey, you're filling needs, you're filling holes. So not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. And then the big talk of camp, we talked about it before, everybody's talking about how the comments Monken made, and Shador's in the building, but as far as he knows, Watson's not. Well, we can put everything, and then nobody knows where Gabriel's at, but we can put all that to bed because they had stuff yesterday going on with the start of camp, and they all 3 showed up. All 3 were there. Good. So working out.
We have a Dylan Gabriel sighting in Berea.
Yep, he was lifting weights. They all look good lifting weights. So there you go. So they all 3 are in camp, but the competition, I think we all agree it's really a 2-man competition. I don't think anybody believes that Gabriel's, truly in the mix for starting quarterback. If he is, then we're in big trouble. But, I think you got some interesting tidbits on the competition between these two, some stuff you've heard and seen. And
yeah, so, Watson, I think he was down in Florida. I want to say the Miami area. I'm not 100% sure on that, but he was working out with Jerry Jeudy, Isaiah Bond, Jamari Thrash. So they've been working together. So I think he's really, Watson's really trying to build that chemistry with these guys. And I think it should serve him well going into OTAs and training camps.
Is that going to be the latest thing we start hearing stuff about? Oh, look there's divide in the locker. These guys are working out with Watson and not Sanders.
I don't know. Actually, that's a great question, because I don't know what the locker room dynamics are and who is kind of behind who. I'm sure there's players that are just whoever's in there, they're fine with. And then there's probably other players that, they like a certain guy, the way he throws it better than the other guy.
I would agree. Yeah, I don't think nothing should be mad out of. A lot of those guys live down south and stuff. A lot of them are, SEC guys. Well, what? Watson went to Clemson. Jeudy was Alabama. So, I'm sure they all kind of have places or, down in the south there. Let's be honest. We've sat here all winter. I'd rather much be down south in Florida or any other place down south than in Cleveland these last 3 or 4 months. So I can't blame them.
I can't blame him either. But I do give Shador credit for being here in Cleveland throughout the offseason. I think that's a very important move for him. Shows that he's dedicated and he wants this job.
I would agree.
Now, Todd Monken hasn't named a starter yet. So everybody's going to get I think a fair shake. Do you think they're going to go with Shedeur as the number one heading into camp?
I mean, honestly, I don't know what we gained by Watson starting. I think most Browns fans here, I'll say most because I'm sure that there are some that aren't, but I think most Browns fans are ready to be done with Watson. I think everybody thinks, based on everything we've heard, Jack Duffin's with the Orange and Browns, one of the gurus with the cap and stuff. Everybody seems to believe that next year's a year that the Browns could get out of that contract. Well, at least release him and take less of a hit. So I think most people believe by next year, by June 1st or sooner, Watson would be gone. So, and honestly, to be honest, for me, I want to see Shedeur because like we've talked about, if he plays great, awesome. We then have probably our franchise quarterback, and now we could focus on other things. And if he's terrible, then it's supposed to be, everybody's saying now it's coming out like crazy. Next year might be one of the top 3 quarterback classes ever. And you need a quarterback. So John, let me ask you this. If Watson plays and balls out, then what do? You
extend him for 1 year, draft someone and extend him for a year, and let the young guy come in and come underneath him and watch for a year, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Angel asked with Bearded Browns, who I did catch some of their show last night. Good show, Angel. He said, do you think if Watson's better than Shedeur, the Browns won't force Shedeur to start? I mean, they could. I mean, at the end, let's be honest. Monken's what, 60?
Yeah.
Contrary to most people's beliefs, these coaches want to win. So he's 60 years old. This may be his only chance to be a head coach. I mean, logic would tell me if I'm a head football coach, I want the best player in there that gives me the best chance to win. So I could see it. I mean, unless they're just that far apart through these camps and stuff that Shedeur looks, bad and Watson looks that great. If they're close, I'm going with Sanders and the young guy. Like I said, I want to see the future. I don't think Watson's that, but it'll be interesting. That's for sure.
Sure will. What do you think the fan percentage is, Steve? The percentage behind Shedeur and the percentage behind Watson?
You're talking about 2 out of 3 big forces. You had the Baker bros. You got the Sanders. I forget the word for them. The Sanders Allegianists or whatever. And then the Watson. I got to believe most people feel Sanders, right?
80%? 90%?
I would say, yeah, I might even go higher. I know Watson still has a few, but I would go 80 to 90% in favor of Shedeur.
I don't think I've met one Watson fan.
I see him a lot on X and stuff talking about him. There's still somebody, you probably have a small percentage that wants anybody but either of the two. So I guess you'll find out. So.
Well, that story is going to obviously continue on throughout the summer, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it is. Yes, sir. There's some JOK news too.
Poor guy. I wish JOK was here, but it looks like he's on to bigger and better things. He's pursuing his master's degree at Harvard.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I would, if you're in Harvard, I would think so. No.
Yeah. He's pursuing a master's in public policy.
Public what?
Public policy.
I mean, some people say, "Oh, don't read too much into it," but wasn't it reported before that, basically he was going around trying to find anyone to sign off that he could play still? That pretty much
he was having a hard time finding a doctor that would clear him, and I don't think it's getting any better for him.
No, it's not looking good. I mean, that's a shame. Again, man, it would have been so awesome to have been able to see him and Carson Schwarzenegger in that back of that linebacker, that front seven, along with Miles and that front seven just in general. What could have been, man. So wish him the best. Good for him. What's your your famous?
Good for you. Good for you. Good for me. Good for everybody.
Good for you. Good for me. Good for everybody.
I love that. Who doesn't love dice? So there you go with that. We also got some big, exciting news here. We had talked about it last show.
I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, so the Browns are going to host their own. They do it every year, but they're going to do their Cleveland Browns draft party, which is Thursday, April 23rd at the Cleveland Public Auditorium. If you're a season ticket holder like us, you were able to on Monday do it before and get your allowed up to 2 tickets. Well, I did it and you did it, and we both got tickets for that event. So we have decided that There's a Gleam podcast is going to make our first ever appearance in the history of our lives of going to a Browns draft party that isn't at one of our houses. So we are going to be there for that. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Never done one of those. So what about you, John?
Yeah, Maddie and I went down to the Journey concert last season for the draft party, which was a blast. And this is a little bit different environment, but I think it's going to be a good time. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, no, I do too. They, according to what the Browns had on their thing, there'll be player and alumni autographs. There's going to be live DJ, on-site giveaways, food and drink available. Of course, you got to buy it. And then Browns are partner. They'll have Cleveland Browns partner activities. And then, of course, we're going to be there, and we're looking to have some promotional. It's in the works now. So we're looking to have some promotional stuff to give out. We're going to kind of get our brand out there a little bit. So we plan on being down there, walking around, getting fan reactions, maybe some interviews and more. So if you see us walking around, we'd love for you to come up, say hi. Who knows? Maybe you'll make it on our show and you'll get some video with you. So that should be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be very interesting, Steve. Very interesting.
If you can't make it to that, our friends over at Bearded Browns, I know they're having a draft show over at PJ McIntyre's. That's West Side, your side of town. Yeah. So they're going to be doing their draft party with I forget the Browns backers. I should know. Is it West Park backers? I forget, but they're partnering up with one of the Browns backers, and they're doing a live show there at the PJ McIntyre. So I was going to say, if that wasn't that, I was strongly thinking about going there and hanging out there. So or you can do it at home. We always did it at home for several years. We do our favorite foods, usually pizza and wings.
Yeah. But now we have that number 1 pick, or the first round pick again. So we're kind of back in. We were slackers the last couple of years with that.
I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. Our reactions in some of the years, let's be honest, and a lot of the years past drafts haven't been too favorable. Now we're gonna be in public.
Yeah. We got to keep our composure.
Yeah. From your lips to God's ears, we'll see. So. All right, let's move on here. We don't have much. There's not much. Things have been kind of quiet, which I guess is a good thing, but not a lot of news. But any AFC North news we got?
I did some digging, and the only thing that I could really find is that there's some interest. Lamar Jackson is with the Ravens is interested with the possibility of Jadeveon Clowney coming back to the Ravens.
Yeah.
Last
year. Was it Seattle or where? No, he bounced around a few. Really didn't do Dallas. I can't remember. He basically didn't do Dallas. Anything. Okay.
And he had 24 tackles, 8.5 sacks. So
last year?
Yeah.
What do I know? All right. That's
I mean, the guy's he's been steady. He's been a steady player. And so I could see why the Ravens won. I guess the Ravens, I don't know if the Ravens want him back. Lamar would like to have him back. So we'll see. And that was really, Steve, the only news I could find throughout the AFC North this week. Not a lot going on.
Rob said agreed. That's pretty difficult. Some of our head-scratching draft picks. I agree, Rob.
Which one?
So, not a lot going on. Still no news about Pittsburgh and their quarterback situation with Rodgers. Is he or isn't he? So who knows with that?
They said before the draft, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I could care less either way. I'm kind of hoping he comes back because I don't think he's anything great. But anyway, all righty. Well, that's it for that. What about some NFL news?
We've got a couple little stories here. So kind of the big one, Steve, Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's for a trade from the New York Giants. He's not expected to participate in the offseason workout program. And so I'm not sure what general manager Joe Schoen is going to do with this.
Yeah.
He previously made it clear it would take a significant return to move away from Dexter Lawrence. So
it'll be interesting. I mean, if they do, does that affect their draft plan? What they're looking at? That all of a sudden puts a big hole in their front line there. So could be something to watch.
Yeah, maybe they try to move him during the draft or before the draft.
Okay. Did they say why? Is it simply contract? Just hasn't gotten the contract and wants out, or?
He failed to reach a deal the last 2 years. So
okay,
kind of been bubbling now for a little bit.
That's what I kind of thought.
Yeah. We also have linebacker Levante David blames injuries for Baker Mayfield's struggles last year. Now, Levante David, he retired.
Yeah.
But he said that, the injuries that Baker had, fighting through injuries last year. Here's what he said. He had a lot of injuries that you don't expect a quarterback to play through. He had oblique injury. He had a shoulder injury. He had a lot of things, an ankle, a knee injury. So he had a lot of things that were just bugging him all season. My question, Steve, is Baker Mayfield tough as nails or dumb as a rock?
Possibly a combo of both, but I think I think he is a very tough guy.
Well, like the old song says, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. So I guess that's where Baker Mayfield fits.
Yeah, no, I think he's a tough guy. He's always wanted to play, be there with his teammates, except for at the end there, the last game of the year, he decided after all the crap here in Cleveland, he was going to sit after playing all that time with the shoulder. But
bitter?
What's that?
Are you bitter? It's not.
I think that hurt a lot.
One time when he
that one time, nah, yeah.
No, I like Baker a lot. I just think he maybe has hurt his own career a little bit by playing through these injuries.
Possibly. I mean,
but he is tough.
We need to ask our Tampa Bay expert Kevin Brown, who's a diehard Bucks fan. He knows. Rob had commented that so he didn't learn anything from being injured in Cleveland. Good riddance. What's so funny is Rob is such good friends with Kevin. We all are. Kevin loves Tampa, and
well, since Kevin loves Tampa and can't stand Todd Bowles, this probably won't make him too happy. Owner Joel Glazier defends Todd Bowles.
Huh? Roger said he's trying to watch on YouTube, but keeps starting at the beginning and won't go live. Well, maybe it's because it doesn't want us to go live. Maybe it knows something we don't. You know what? I'll have to get our tech guy on it because I couldn't tell you the first thing of why it's not doing that. It says live on our end. I wish I could answer more, but we are live on.
Anyway, so Glazier points to injuries and close losses and not coaching as the main reason for the Bucks collapse last year. So we shall see. I think this is going to be Todd Bowles' last season if he can't get this ship righted for Tampa Bay. That this could be it for him.
Okay. Actually, Roger, I think it is you. I just popped on there if you heard the coming back, but it looks like it's playing live, so it might be you, Roger, if you're out and about in that truck. What did Kevin say? Kevin, our Tampa Bay expert. Bowles is the reason that Evans left.
Ooh. Ow.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a baby on the way, Steve.
Yeah, I heard. Who's is it?
Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, good for them.
Actually, they had a baby.
I was going to say, wait, on the way. Didn't they have it?
Yeah, they had it. Baby girl. So that's a little bit of news there. And then the last thing.
Let's transition from having no baby to the big breaking news. Yesterday, it started popping out all over the place. If you're on social media, you saw it.
What's that? Trying to make a baby?
I'm trying to do something, though. Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini.
I think they are trying to make a baby in that one photo there.
Well, it said, photos appear to show that Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel and the Athletic senior NFL insider Diana Rossini holding hands, hugging, and hanging around a hotel pool a few weeks ago at the Ambient in Sedona, Arizona.
Yeah.
Which I guess you could say might, okay, but they're both married, so that could be an issue. And the owners' meeting was just in Arizona. It was in Phoenix, but both have denied any wrongdoing. In fact, Vrabel was quoted as saying, "These photos show a completely innocent interaction, and any suggestions otherwise is laughable." And Rossini said, "The photos don't represent the group of 6 people who were hanging out during the day. Like most journalists in the NFL, reporters interact with sources away from stadiums and other venues." So
I think it's innocent. I don't think there's anything there.
Yeah, I don't know what to make. Why it's even news, who knows? But anyway, it was. Somebody clicked the photo. Damn paparazzi. Clicking photos, and I think it could be. Well, what's scary in this world today is what's a real photo and AI. There's so much AI. I want to say Allen Iverson now. AI stuff out there. What's real? What isn't? So who knows? But
let's just start calling AI Allen Iverson.
There you go. I do want to say it though. I don't have any 2-minute drill, but you actually had a 2-minute drill. So that should say John's 2-minute drill. But what do you got for 2-minute drill today, John?
All right. I've got two quick ones, Steve, and then we'll get to the draft talk here.
Okay.
Look, there are 10 perks of winning the Masters. Do you know what some of those perks are if you win the Masters? As you know,
the obvious. I know the obvious. Two obvious are you get the green jacket and you're getting paid. And then you also get the hosted dinner, or not hosted dinner, but pick the dinner the following year. What else?
That's correct. So you're right. You get the green jacket.
Mm-hmm.
You get the prize money. Recent winners are pulling in about $4 million plus.
Okay.
And then you said the meal. You're correct. It's the champions dinner menu control. The next year, you get to pick whatever you want to feed everybody at Masters.
Right. There's a big thing about that just a couple weeks ago, what Rory was having. In fact, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just saw an interview. I think it was this morning. They asked Rory. It wasn't really Irish heavy on stuff. And they asked him, why not? He's like, well, because I want to eat good food. I thought that was a riot. And I'm part Irish and I do like some Irish, but I thought that was funny.
What would you do if you had to do the dinner for the Masters? What would you pick?
Oh God, I don't even know. I'd have to think about it. I love so much.
I'm doing tomahawk steaks.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be classy. Yeah. I love pizza. Pizza, I could eat pizza 7 days a week. So as some type of appetite, but I guess I'd have to fancy it up though.
Yeah, I'm doing like surf and turf.
I mean, you got to keep it balanced for people. You got to go a classic steak, no? And I would do some type of seafood. I know everybody's not a shellfish guy. Steak and lobster sounds good to me, but I'm not a salmon guy. You like salmon, so you'd probably have to. I don't know.
If I was going to do a fish, I'd probably go sea bass.
That is good. I made that for the first time for my wife a few weeks back for our anniversary. I've had it before and really like it. So, okay. What else? They said there's 10 things.
You get a replica Masters trophy.
Mm-hmm.
You get a gold medal. You get a lifetime invite to the champions dinner. You get a golden locket. It's a lesser known keepsake featuring Bobby Jones.
Okay.
You get honorary membership at Augusta National Golf Club.
I did hear that. That's right.
And you also get champions locker room access. It's a private space for winners only.
That's nice I do remember those. Got a picture. That was the champions dinner from the other night that we got up on the screen there. There's Rory in the middle. Tiger wasn't there, unfortunately. I think he's still dealing with that whole latest accident rollover thing, but no, not bad.
And last thing you get lifetime Masters exemption and major. Never qualify again, plus 5-year exemptions on other majors. So
not bad if you can do it.
Deal.
No, sir. No, sir. I like that. Not like the Masters.
I do too. That's one of my favorite. It's like it feels like summer's finally coming when you get to watch the Masters.
Yep.
All right, I got one more for you, Steve.
Okay, what do you got?
This one drives me as two old grumpy men.
Get off my lawn.
I still don't understand what this guy's complaining about, but there's a Los Angeles Dodgers fan who said he wants printed tickets. He does not have a phone. He does not have a way to print them out off his computer. The 81-year-old season ticket holder, Errol Siegel, said he can't attend the games because he doesn't have a smartphone or computer. He says he's been getting the tickets for 50 years printed, and he doesn't like that he can only get them on his phone. Steve, even at 81, you've got to move on with the times. I'm sorry. They're not going to print tickets. Oh. Well,
I love you, but as the older man myself, I kind of feel his pain.
Okay.
After seeing God rest my father. So I remember when he had a computer trying to walk him through stuff, I want to pull my hair out. Let's be honest. There's been people guilty before of being like, stereotyping. Old people shouldn't drive. Old people shouldn't do this. Old people should, we're kind of becoming those older people. You know what? The guy doesn't use it. I actually know a few people that don't do the computer at all, don't want any technology. And you know what? Let's be honest. I kind of admire some of those people. I want to go back to the Jack Bauer days where I have a flip phone I could just use that. I don't need all this stuff because I spend too much time on my phone as it is looking at stuff. I admire the guy. So in this case, here's my problem. How long's he been a fan for? 50-something years?
Over 50 years.
You know what? Can't you make – I mean, somebody like that, that's the loyalty he gets. So in one regard, I'm kind of like, I kind of feel for the old man. I can see your point too.
Well, I mean, he's not going to any games now, but his son is going.
Yeah.
So right. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if his son printed him out.
I mean, he can go with his son.
I know what? He's just a bitter old. I think he's bitter and old, and mean, nasty. He's like he wants it his way or no way.
You know what? Give the Browns credit. This is one of the things I truly like about the current stadium is we both use it. They have that where we don't even have to scan anything. You walk up to we signed up, went through the process of getting approved or whatever, or not even getting approved, just setting it up. But they do the face recognition. We walk up, it sees our face. We walk right through. Get the old man set up. They don't have that. It's LA. You got a $500 million payroll. You know, you can't put something in there. They don't have that.
That's a great point. I don't understand that. Now you've just opened my eyes.
No, I love it.
This is all on the Dodgers for not having facial recognition at their ball games.
There are a few things unrelated to family and friends that I truly love. One of them is the Browns walking through that face recognition. Not trying to remember how many times before you're trying to get your phone and get your ticket. It's like my internet, it's not coming up. You had problems. We're standing there trying to get in. The other thing I really like, and I'm a Costco lover, but I do like Sam's Club. I love that you can scan and go. On Sam's Club,
I love scan and go at Costco. Or I do it at Sam's. Same thing.
No, Sam's. Costco doesn't have it.
Oh, they don't?
Sam's. No, that's the one thing they have over Costco. Sam's Club, you can shop, scan everything, and then you got your credit card in there. You scan, finish it up, pay. You walk right out, show them. Most of the time now, by the time we get to the door, they're like, "You're good." I wish Costco would do that.
Yeah, anytime we can just breeze right through, that's a win.
I don't want to take jobs away from anybody, but that is a nice. I love that. So yeah.
Well, anyways, getting back to your point, yeah, this is on the Dodgers for not having facial scanning at Dodger Stadium.
I'm stunned that they don't have that.
I mean, we got it in Cleveland. Come on.
Right? Yeah, Cleveland, we're trendsetters. Nobody wants to give us the credit, but we are trendsetters. So trendsetters. Jeez.
We are.
And that's all you got for the more than 2-minute drill.
Yep, that's it. That's a wrap.
All right. Well, all right, let's get to the meat of this. We went a little bit past what we were hoping to keep on our busy schedule here, but we're doing pretty good. Want to talk draft talk. This is the big time right now. We want to talk some NFL draft. We haven't done a ton of stuff, and we want to we only got 2 weeks, and we'll be announcing later. We don't know about next week's show yet, so we'll be talking about that a little bit later. But as far as draft talk, what I wanted to do was we're going to go over our mock drafts and stuff. But I want to talk about a few things. One thing I did want to bring up real quick is that I did see yesterday, I think it was Adam Schefter reported that number one pick or projected number one pick, Fernando Mendoza. I almost said Fernando Valenzuela because we're talking Dodgers. Fernando Mendoza has informed the NFL that he is not planning on attending the NFL draft in Pittsburgh, that he wants to share the draft experience with his family in Miami. So those of you hoping to see him walk up on the stage, sounds like he won't be there.
Well, I think that's a personal choice, and I don't think every player needs to go. Joe Thomas didn't go.
Yeah.
So I think it's just
I think the other thing I saw was the last number one pick to do it. I don't know if it was number one pick or number one pick quarterback. I think it was number one pick was Trevor Lawrence when he was drafted. He didn't go. So
interesting.
Again, I don't know if it was just quarterback or number one. I think it was number one pick. But anyway, enough about them. We're here for Browns. This is a Cleveland Browns podcast. So one thing we really hadn't done was talk about the rosters and stuff. So we wanted to get into a little bit. I know it might be hard to see on some people's screens. But just kind of looking over our roster here, especially we'll start on the offensive side. I kind of broke it down by position. And as of right now, this was as of yesterday, the roster quarterbacks, we have Sanders, Watson, and Gabriel. Running backs, it's Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Sampson, Raheem Sanders, and Amani Marshall. And then receivers, actually, there's so many guys I forgot. Now, obviously, not everybody's staying on this, and this is going to change. But you got Jerry Judy, Cedric Tillman, Isaiah Bond, Jamari Thrash, Malachi Corley, Gage Larvadan, the new signing of Tylen Wallace, Luke Floria, and another new signing was Isaiah Wooden. Tight ends. We have 6 tight ends on the roster. Well, roster under contract, whatever you want to say, which I didn't realize we had that many.
Right.
Harold Fannin Jr., the new signing of Jack Stoll that we signed, Blake Whiteheart, Brendan Bates, Sal Canella, and Caden Priestcorn. And then finally, your linemen, centers, you got Luke Whippler, Kingsley Iguakin. They have him listed as center/guard. Elton Jenkins, the new signing. Our other guard that's a new signing, Zion Johnson. The re-signing of Tevin Jenkins, and then you got Zach Zinter and Kendrick Green. I forgot about him at guard. And the last spot offensively was tackle. The newest one, Titus Howard, that we got from Houston. DeJuan Jones, KT Leviston. This messed me up. I saw Jack Conley, and I kept thinking Jack Conklin. I'm like, no, he's gone. What? This is wrong. And then I went to Google something. I'm like, oh, Conklin. But I kept seeing Jack and Conley. So Jack Conley, Tyree Phillips, and Jeremiah Byers round out our offensive side of the team there.
Okay.
So I think a lot will change. I think there's been obviously some of these guys are special teamers and whatnot, but so that's what we're looking at offensively. And then defensively, I'm going to pull this up again. I thought it looked bigger. I forget. I have a 50-inch TV on my main computer that I break up into 2 screens, and on mine it looks ginormous. So, but defensively, breaking it down real quick, defensive ends, we got Myles Garrett, Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire, Aiden Huntington, and Julian Aquara. I think that's probably one of our stronger ones, no?
Yeah, for sure.
Defensive tackle also I thought was pretty solid. Maybe even Mason Graham, Malik Collins, Mike Hall Jr., the new signing Khalil Davis that we got from San Fran, and then Sam Kamara re-signed. Linebackers, again, I think this is I think we're kind of weak here, but 4, 5, 7. We have 7 linebackers on this roster as of right now. It's Schlesinger, JOK, which he's on the PUP list or whatever, right? So he's on there, but you really don't count him. New signing Quincy Williams, Winston Reed, Nathaniel Watson, Easton Mascarenas, Arnold. I don't remember him at all, and Edifan Han Solo. I don't remember him either.
I don't remember him either.
Cornerbacks, decent group. We got Denzel Ward, Tyson Campbell, your starters. The new signing the other day of Miles Bryant, Trey Avery, Miles Harden, D'Angelo Ross, and Dom Jones. Safeties, you got 4 there with Grant Delpit, Donovan McMillan, new signing of Daniel Thomas. I believe he was from Detroit, and Christopher Edmonds. And we're not counting yet restricted free agent as Ronnie Hickman. Everybody believes he'll be back, but he is restricted. Somebody can't offer him a contract, and see what the Browns do. And then your special teams group right now, you have Andre Schmidt at kicker, 2 punters. I didn't realize this. We have 2 punters right now. Corey Buarquez, and I didn't realize Nick Constantino signed. What is it?
Is it Constantino?
Nah, it could be. And then Rex Sunahara, the long snapper. So that kind of rounds out the roster as of today. We know it's not going to be final by any means. So after we looked at that, I know we kind of went through it kind of quick here. We're trying to make up a little time. But with that, we started thinking, and this was my opinion, but I'm curious to see what you think, John. As far as team needs, offensively, short of, now that I look at it, short of guard, there's every position up there.
yeah, we need a lot.
I mean, quarterback, I think most people say until we get it, we don't have the franchise quarterback. We all agree wide receiver. We need more, probably more than one. We don't think we have our left tackle still. Center, we don't know if it's going to be Jenkins, if Whippler's coming back. So that's a hole. And I think we need more tight end depth. Fannon's great, and he's the number one, but after that, it's a little thin. Defensively, again, short of the defensive line, which you can always use depth there. Linebacker, I think, is a need. I think you could use a third corner. I know they signed Bryant, though, but I don't know, safety, Delpit, is this his? I think he's coming up, last year or two on his contract. And then I have linebacker twice. I typed something wrong.
Well, we need him that bad. We put it up there twice.
I may have, you know what? I think I know I did it. I did put defensive end. You got Myles Garrett. There's Alex Wright. Isaiah McGuire was okay, but you still want some. I think the defensive tackle, I'm good. If we went with what we got, I'm okay. But anyway, that's what we had for that, for team needs. So looking at that, I'm curious to see if anybody's out there, what, especially Browns fans, what do you think team needs are for the Browns? In this draft, I don't think they're going to go, if we're just looking at the first round, John.
Yeah.
You think quarterback's in play?
I don't
either. Put it this way. Do you want them? Would you even want them to look at quarterback in the first round?
No, I don't. I want to see what Shedeur can do. I don't want to muddy the waters. Let's just keep what we have and then figure it out. And then we still have time before we move into the dome to see who our quarterback's going to be if it's not Shedeur.
I would agree. Like I said, quarterback in this draft, I don't want them wasting a high pick at all, at all. Wide receiver, absolutely. Left tackle, absolutely. Center, I do have some interest, maybe within the first 3 rounds. From what I've heard, this is supposed to be a pretty decent center draft. So again, you don't have to get them in the first round, but wouldn't be opposed to that. And would like to see a tight end. And again, this also seems to be a pretty decent draft for tight end. So center and tight end, I think later in the draft, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, you might be able to get somebody. But I think for this one on the offense, I think absolutely wide receiver and left tackle are in play. Would you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Defense, again, I don't know if we didn't see the Schlesinger pick, I think, coming out. Although looking back, we probably should have, being first pick in round 2, but I could see linebacker being in need. Like you said, the cornerback, safety potentially, and possibly a defensive end. Do you think?
For depth, probably, I think, but I don't think it's a main focus.
Okay. Our buddy James said he'd like to see a first-round wide receiver, top 10, preferably. Wide receiver in the top 10. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was Big Ten, a wide receiver from the Big Ten.
No, I agree with him. I think that's probably a very likable route that the Browns could go.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, I'm leaning more towards the offensive side. I think is bigger needs. Again, but I'm a big proponent. I don't like the reach. I want best available. So if that happens to be somewhere else, but he can play now and be that game changer, all pro,
Right.
I would go for that. But I think realistically, if I had to narrow it down to about in the first round with those 2 picks, the potential 3 or 4 spots, I think wide receiver, tackle, probably would go. I could see a linebacker, believe it or not, if they thought somebody was worth it. And I could probably also see a cornerback. I don't know if they will, or a safety. And I could see
safety.
Yeah, defensive back, a linebacker. If they did go defense, I could see that. James also said that he thinks he's going best available corner, safety, or linebacker at 39. I would probably agree with that.
Yeah.
See what you do especially if we go with the first 2 picks, let's assume it's that receiver tackle, then by all means, I think there's a pretty good draft with that in that range there, 39. I think there's going to be some excellent. I think there's going to be a few corners that fall there, possibly safety, definitely linebackers. I have a list here, but so that's what I had for that. And then I did, for the heck of it, I did some positional. This is my opinion. So I want to see what you think, John. I did of the positions possible. And again, if you can't read it, I'm sorry. It looks bigger on my screen. So wide receivers, in my opinion, the top 5 in this draft. I'm curious to see what you think, John. I have Carnell Tate as the best receiver, then Mekhi Lemon, Denzel Boston, I'm a big fan of, Omar Cooper Jr., and I have Jordan Tyson 5th. Some people think he's 1, 2, or 3, but the injury history for him just scares me too much.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Is there anybody that it's not on there you might have ahead of any of those 5, or maybe somebody higher than what I did, or pretty good with that?
No, I think I'm pretty good with that actually.
Okay. Then I did tackles. I did top 5 tackles available. And again, there it's left or right tackle. So I had Francis Mauigoa as the number 1 from Miami. Spencer Fano, I had 2nd from Utah. Blake Miller, I have 3rd at Clemson. 4th for me was Monroe Freeling at Georgia. And 5th was Caleb Lomu from Utah. I will say that the first 3 are all right tackles. Predominantly, that's what they predominantly played. Monroe Freeling is a true left tackle, and Caleb Lomu as well. What do you think of that? Anybody I missed maybe? Or I know some people had Proctor, but from Alabama.
Yeah, I think he's later. I think he's later than that.
He's awfully big, and you know what? 2 things scare me. There's the Jed Willis fear.
Yes.
Of having him, and he's just such a big man. DeJuan Jones, that's the one thing he struggled with was that weight. I don't know if I want another big lineman like that.
It's almost like he's too big,
right?
And then the body and what?
It kind of scares me, and that's why he's not in my top 5 for those 2 specific reasons.
Yeah.
If I'm just going pure talent, I have those guys higher. I'm not a fan either of guys changing. Well, he's a right tackle. He can make the change to left tackle. Some can, but a lot don't. And in fact, some of these guys are talking about not even playing right tackle, but moving inside. And most of the time when they move inside, it's because they're not good enough to be a tackle, on an island. So I don't know. I wish this was a stronger draft class for left tackles, especially, but that's my top 5.
Well, I get, and so here's my question, Steven. I understand we're looking for that left tackle. You put him there for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll push back a little bit. Why does it have to be a left tackle? I mean, we do have holes on that line, and there's no guarantee any of these guys are top guys that we've got on the line. So we draft the guard. So what? I mean, it's going to build that line. It's depth. Maybe he turns into a starter.
That is true. I mean, they have some. Well, you traded for Howard, and I think he did play left tackle at one point briefly, but he's primarily been a right tackle, and you extended his contract, gave him pretty good money. So I kind of feel they have him penned in as their right tackle.
Yeah.
And then looking at the depth on the team, I mean, the two big moves you had was you brought Zion Johnson in, the guard from San Diego or the Chargers.
Yeah.
And then Jenkins has played a little bit of everything, but most people say center or guard. He could be the center. And then you brought back the other Jenkins. You still have Zach Zinter on the team, KT Levitt. Well, no, he's more of a tackle. Guard. I thought guard, they were pretty well set. I just feel like I don't know who our left tackle is, but you're right.
You're pretty well set at guard with some guys that are just okay guys.
True.
If I can upgrade that position going off of pure value in the draft, I'm going to upgrade that position.
Well, a lot of people feel it's the kid from Penn State as the best. So
yes.
If they, I guess you could never go wrong taking a lineman. But our buddy James said, man, DeJuan was playing good last year, then had the injury. It'd be great if he could. That is true. We don't talk about it enough. And that's the other. I'm not ready to totally trust Jones. If it's a big if, but if he's healthy and can play, that solves your tackle problem. But it's a big if. So James also said he's big on Jennings and Rutledge. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. So hey.
But my mock draft changed a little bit, Steve. I don't know if you want me to go over that real quick.
Well, real quick, we did the offense. So real quick, defensive side, I had edges, my top 5, and I only went 4 with some of the other ones, but it's all I could fit on the page. But for defensive ends, edge guys, I have Arvell Reese is my best from Ohio State. David Bailey from Texas Tech. 3rd, I had Reuben Bain Jr., short arms and all from Miami, followed by how crazy. Then I had Akeem Mesidor, also from Miami. And this one, I'm kind of high on Missouri Zion Young. I saw some other ones have him about 2 or 3 other guys ahead of him. But I kind of like him myself.
Where are they projecting? Is he projected late first?
I've seen Zion Young go in the top 15. I've seen him go in the second round, so I don't know.
Kind of all over there.
Alvaro Reese, Bailey, and Bain all in the top 10 at the very least 12, and Mesidor's in that like 13 to 20 range from what I've seen in some of them. Then linebackers, which again, I wasn't that focused on before, but after really looking at our roster and thinking about stuff and JOK, I'm a little bit more on. I have Sonny Styles as the best linebacker from Ohio State. It's not that great. I don't think it's that great of a linebacker class. CJ Allen from Georgia, I like. Anthony Hill Jr. from Texas. And then these guys, Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech's pretty solid. And Jake Galde from right here in Ohio, Cincinnati there were my top 5. Any thoughts on that or no?
No, I don't know Jake Golday really from Cincy.
Okay.
Like the other guys, yeah, I think they fit right there.
James said Anthony Hill Jr. is a dog. Yeah, he's pretty good. I went back and forth between him and Allen, but they're both solid. And then corners, real quick, I had Mansour Delane from LSU.
Yep.
Jermad McCoy from Texas. In fact, he just finally ran. He had been hurt. He ran. I thought if I remember correctly, like a 4.38. So it's got some wheels. Another Texas guy, Colton Hood, I liked, and then Avion Terrell from Clemson. Those were my opinion, top 4 corners. And finally, safeties. I had Caleb Downs as number 1, and some people believe he might be the best player in the draft. Dylan Thieneman from Oregon. Local kid Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo. That's great. Last Toledo player I can even think of was Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt.
Other than that, I can't think of Toledo players. And then finally I had this one. I went back and forth a little bit, but AJ Halsey from LSU is pretty solid. So those are my guys. I don't know what you thought.
I really like the cornerbacks and safeties in this class.
Okay.
I wish we could take a couple of those guys.
Right. On that note, we're going to lead up to we had the latest of our mock drafts. So, what do you got for yours, John?
So we'll do this, I guess, the way we've done it the last time. We'll do the first 6 picks. And
okay.
Then I'll bounce to the 24th pick, what I have for the Browns.
Okay.
So first pick, as you know, Fernando Mendoza to the Las Vegas Raiders.
I don't think any surprise there.
None. No. New York Jets, Sonny Styles out of Ohio State. Arizona, Francis Magoa.
You had Sonny Styles going too.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah. Then I have Tennessee going Jeremiah Love at 4.
I'm sorry. Who was your third?
Francis Magoa.
Okay.
5, New York Giants, Arvell Reese out of Ohio State.
Whoa. Okay.
Now, Steve, this leaves me in a big quandary with the Browns at 6.
All right. Well, here we go.
With the 6th pick in this year's NFL draft, the Cleveland Browns select David Bailey out of Texas Tech.
Wow. That's what I had in my first one, I think.
Somebody's
going to fall.
Pure value.
I think between one, it's gonna make this is where I think it's gonna be very interesting for the Browns. I truly believe between possibly Arvell Reese, David Bailey, or Sonny Styles, one of those 3 could and very well will be there at 6.
Yes.
Okay.
And at that point, I feel you have to take one of those guys.
That's how I am. Give me the best available. I think Carnell Tate's a great receiver. He's going to be, very, very good.
But like you said, Steve, he's not Megatron.
No.
Then I have Steve go. Let's go. Let's do our divisional real quick. I have at 14, Baltimore Ravens taking Ruben Bain Jr. out of Miami, edge rusher.
Man, if he fell all the way there, I'd be pissed.
Could you imagine Baltimore with Ruben Bain?
That's right.
Disgusting. And then we have Pittsburgh going Monroe Freeling out of Georgia, the tackle.
Who was that?
Monroe Freeling.
Who took Pittsburgh?
The Steelers.
I would hate that too because I'm very intrigued by him. I just don't know if I'm willing to take him I'm definitely not willing to take him at 6. And James said, let Miles trade rumors explode if they pick an edge at 6. Yeah.
Right.
I could see it, but he is 30. So we'll see. But okay. And then
And then number 24.
Okay,
Cleveland
so
Browns.
with that,
the Cleveland Browns select Vega Ione from Penn State.
the Penn State guard.
Yes.
Oh, you set this up perfectly, you sly bastard. You're talking about, I don't care what it is. Some people think he may even be the best lineman in the draft, let alone for sure interior guard. You know, he's the best, but some people think he might be the best all-around best lineman. So
I think you got to do it. I think you've got to go with the best player available. We've got holes. We got to fill these holes. This isn't going to be fixed this year. It's not going to be fixed even next year.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some truth for it. I wouldn't be disappointed if either one of them happened, to be honest with you. So if that happens, great. And I'm here for it. So, all right. Well, I'm going to try and, man, it's 1 o'clock. So I apologize. I'm going to try and go quick I don't do a lot of stuff quick, but with my mock draft, and again, it's not going to be as easy to read. I'm going to fly through mine. So mine, I have the first pick being from Fernando Mendoza. I have the Jets going with Arvell Reese still at 2. I still have the Cardinals at 3, taking Francis Mauigoa. This is where mine changed up. I now starting to think, with doing some more research, that Tennessee may go defense, and I could see them going with the edge, David Bailey. If that happens, I have 5, the New York Giants going with Jeremiah Love, giving Jackson Dart that home run threat. And with the 6th pick in the NFL draft, the Cleveland Browns select linebacker Sonny Styles from the Ohio State. I had David Bailey before. I think one of these guys are falling, and I don't know if I could pass him up. As much as I want a receiver or a tackle, I go with best available. And man, putting him back there with Carson Schlesinger and that defense would be fun. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I'm totally with you. I think it makes sense.
I was high on Tate. I kind of soured a little bit, like, okay, is he worth 6? I don't think so. That pendulum swinging back a little bit after some stuff I read yesterday, but we'll see. So moving along, I'm going to go quicker. The Cincinnati Bengals with the 10th pick. I had them changing from Caleb Downs, I believe it was, to Spencer Fano, the tackle. They got to protect Burrow. He's going to be, hurt again. So then I had the Baltimore Ravens at 14, taking wide receiver Jordan Tyson. And I hope he gets hurt. No, I shouldn't say that. Nothing against the kid.
I like Jordan Tyson, but I hope he does nothing if he goes to Baltimore.
Right? That's the best case scenario. So that's what I had for those. And then that was it for Steelers.
Yeah.
So it's funny because in my mock draft at 21, I had the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Vega Ione from the guard from Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah. More people are calling him Vega now. They're shortening up.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to say Vega.
Makes it so much easier. And with that being said, I have, with the 24th pick in the 2026 NFL draft, I have the Cleveland Browns. I still have them going with offensive tackle Caleb Lomu from Utah. That change. To be honest, I got a little lazy. I'm stuck. No. I'm sticking with the tackle.
I don't mind that pick either. I guess it comes down to, I'm not really going to mind a whole lot of what the Browns are going to do, because I feel this process is, like I said, a couple years in the making. But I'm happy with that too.
We'll see.
I just don't want them
I truly want the best available. I want that difference maker. I want somebody, you look at how we got Myles Garrett. In that top 10, I just truly feel like that guy should be a perennial all-pro, future Hall of Famer. And I think there's, unfortunately, on the defensive side, I think there are some guys that could be that. So we'll see. But anyway, all right, we're going to move along from that. That was kind of fun. We're going to jump to the land segment here. And this week I had the honors of doing that. And me and my buddy Chris, we're always on the lookout for, Chris is a food junkie, maybe bigger than I am. This kid's gone around. He's not from here originally. He's actually bounced around all over, but he's lived here now for a while, but he loves going to new places, trying stuff. He's looked up places online, and he's gone to it's pretty impressive, some of the places he's gone to. But we were working out, and to help two fat guys get through a workout, we talked about, did we want to go for lunch after? So we decided to go to we decided to try breakfast. We were trying to find somewhere new. We went to, Gus's Diner 185. It's over off of East 185th there on the east side. Just get off the exit, head north towards the lake, and it's on the right-hand side. It's my old childhood neighborhood. I'd never been there, surprisingly.
I have not been there either. I thought I was there when you said Gus's, but I'm thinking of there's a restaurant. I think it's like 185th, but it's actually south of St. Clair. I thought it was Gus's, but maybe it's like the White Door or something like that. But I have not been to Gus's, so I'm interested to hear this.
Okay. Yeah, no. And now I kind of feel like that. Somehow this guy popped on my Facebook thing, Joey Riccatoni or something.
Joey Riccatoni.
Yeah, he's always going around the place. He goes to like all the like old school places, like diners. And I think he's been here before. But anyway, Chris and I decided to go there for a post breakfast lunch. And they serve breakfast as well as appetizers, homemade sandwiches, salads, burgers, gyros. And it says dinner selections with some dinner, but really it's 7 days a week. They're open 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. But it's just that classic neighborhood diner. But in this case, it's been updated.
Okay.
And I forgot to snag a photo of that. However, I did pull something offline. So pull this up here for you to look at to see. But yeah, they updated this place and I really enjoyed it. Got more of a modern feel inside. But anyway, we went there and we both did omelets, and I went with the crazy omelet.
Well, that's a perfect name for you.
Right, here we go. Sorry, I'm trying to do a couple things here at once. But I went with the crazy omelet, and it was solid, man. I really enjoyed it. In the crazy omelet, this thing had it's 3 eggs with onions, tomatoes, peppers, mushrooms, ham, bacon, sausage, American and Swiss cheese. It also comes with a side of home fries, and I did toast. I did rye because I thought it was healthier, which is probably not. And all that was for $11.99.
You can't beat that.
Nope. And then my buddy,
that's an omelet. That's what I'm talking about.
My buddy Chris went next level. They even have one other one called the giant omelet, but he went with the everything omelet, which is 4 eggs, onions, tomatoes. Get this, John: onions, tomatoes, peppers, mushrooms, ham, bacon, and sausage, and gyro meat, corned beef, plus American and Swiss cheese.
Jeez.
$1 more.
Well, why didn't you do that for $1 more?
For me, it sounded like too much meat. I'm already with the ham, bacon, and sausage.
You're lifting weights. You need that protein.
That is true, but I'm more traditional. I don't know if I want gyro meat. I've never been a corned beef and hash guy for some reason.
Really? I love corned beef.
I don't think I've ever had good corned beef and hash, though. That's probably why.
That could be.
Chris is listening. He said it was big and good.
That's a good looking omelet right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now his was, I forgot to get a snapshot of his, but it was good. And then the crazy thing was, we're sitting there and I look at the waitress and I'm like, Chris, I think I know her. And, my dad was married. My dad had been married a few times, and he was married to his wife, Sharon, who had 6 kids. And so for a brief period of time, I had stepbrothers and stepsisters. And I'm like, I think her name's Sheila. I'm like, I don't know if I should say something. I'm like, I'm going to say something. So she come back and I'm like, but excuse me. I'm like, by chance, do you mind if I ask you, is your name Sheila? And she's like, yes. And she's like,
get out.
I'm like, Steve. She's like, Hemrich. I'm like, uh-huh. And she's like, oh my God. She gave me a big hug. So it was really nice to see her.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. I stayed in touch with her. Her mom passed away, a few years back, like my father. Sheila's always great. Real nice girl's got a family of her own, but it was nice to see her. I wish we could have talked some more, but anyway, so that was our little trip there. Gus's Diner 185 on East 185th. All in all, I thought it was love the vibe in there. It's been updated. The food food was outstanding. Great selection. And that's all I got with that.
Well, there's nothing better than a good diner.
Yes, sir. So on that note, I don't think we have there's a Gleam this week.
I got a little Gleam, Steve.
Oh, all right. Hit us.
Well, for my 10-year anniversary, I'm going to St. John tomorrow morning.
That's awesome. I'm so envious.
So that's my Gleam. It's pretty selfish Gleam. It's pretty self-centered, but
Now, let me ask you this. Did you book this prior to your anniversary?
Yeah, we booked it a while ago.
Okay. Where was the place you guys went? You went with a group of people in the Bahamas?
Exuma.
Yeah.
And now this time St. John. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I need a little refresher, little break. So it's coming at the right time.
Now, is that just the two of you? Is anybody else joining you guys?
No, just the two of us. 10-year anniversary. I have it tattooed right here on my arm.
Good for you. Good for you. Good for me. Good for everybody.
Dude, I'm obsessed with that dice thing. I love it so much.
I do too.
No, that's awesome. And yeah. There we go. I hit the wrong button real quick. The thing changed on me as I was adding some stuff and it took you out. So no, I'm happy for you guys. You guys have a good time there.
Yeah, so it's gonna maybe do. I don't know what's gonna do with the show next week, Steve. I'm not gonna be here, unfortunately. So
we're gonna talk about that here. So all right. Well, no, you leave tomorrow, you'll be off, but you will be back in time for the following week's show, and then of course the draft. So we got some things coming up. We got a couple other big news. There's some big things we're really working on. I've been working on for a little bit. I'm hoping to. Well, now I'm afraid something's gonna happen here over the next week. But I think if it does, I'm not gonna say anything till you're back because I want you to be back for this.
Okay.
We're trying to work on some stuff. So anyway, want to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for all the comments. Appreciate it. Appreciate who was it? Kevin, KB, Rob, our buddy James, Angel, Roger. I hope you're able to get past the going live thing and listen. Roger's with the dog chug, and they're on later tonight on X and YouTube. I think they're 9:30, but love those guys. Their normal cast is all back together. So yeah, John said you're going to be on vacation next week. Not sure. It's undecided. There's a chance I may do a show. I may be doing it with a guest. I'll announce something later in the week or over the weekend. So keep your eyes out for that. But if we do, I'll let you know. And then please remember, as always, follow us YouTube, Facebook, X, TikTok, all the social medias. Help us spread the word. We appreciate it. We enjoy it. And that's all I got. You got anything, John?
No, I don't, Steve. That's about it. I think that's a wrap. And once again, thank you everybody for listening. And I will see and be back in 2 weeks.
Have a great vacation. Enjoy yourself. Hope you get, I don't feel as bad. Normally I'd be like, screw you. But it's going to be warm here. We're going to be 70s this week. So we're going to have pretty decent weather. So anyway, thank you for joining us today. Go Browns. And remember what Coach Marty would say.
Gleam, man. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam. All right, let's go.
All right, everybody. Have a good day, good week, and we will hopefully see you next week.